Hey friends, we are here in my kitchen and today we're going to be doing a DIY Super Bowl Stadium snack tray. And it's the week before the Super Bowl. We're having a big Super Bowl party here at my house. And so I'm practicing putting this snack tray together. So I figured I would film it so that way you guys can see how I do it. And if it's something that you want to try out, hopefully it will be of help to you. All right, so let's show you what we have for supplies that are going in our Super Bowl Stadium snack tray. All of my supplies lined up on my countertop right here. And I'm gonna go over everything that I purchased with you before we get started. First, let's talk about what we're gonna use to assemble our stadium. I picked up these baking sheets. And I wanted to make sure that because this is like a practice round that I'm filming right now, I actually wanted to pick up the double ones so that way I can do this again next weekend during our actual Super Bowl party. So it's a 2-pack of, this is the giant baking pan. I ended up finding mine at my grocery store. I think it was like $3.99 for a 2-pack. So that would be like $2 a piece. I also picked up a pack of the cake pans, the 2-pack of cake pans, the 13x9 cake pan. And again, it's a 2-pack, so I'll use one today in my demo and then one next week. And then I also grabbed a 10-pack of the mini loaf pans. Okay, these were only, I believe, $2.99 as well. So these were all in my grocery store when I went grocery shopping. So I'm gonna be doing 3 different dips. I'm gonna be doing a guacamole, which in my guacamole, I'm going to use 4 avocados, some whole cashews, and some fresh salsa. This is the Mitchell's Fresh Mild Salsa. So that is gonna be for my guacamole. I'm also going to be doing a spinach and artichoke dip. So you're going to need cream cheese, sour cream, mayonnaise. You're going to need some garlic, some spinach, and artichoke hearts. So some of this stuff I had on hand already. Some I picked up at the grocery store. I know there's lots of different recipes. I'm going to try to list all the recipes in the description of this video so that you can just follow along exactly what I'm using. I also grabbed an extra sour cream, an extra cream cheese, and an extra bag of cheddar jack cheese just in case I need it. I always like to have extra. Right. Then my final dip is going to be a pizza dip. And for that, you're going to need another package of cream cheese. You're going to need mild cheddar, mozzarella, or shredded mozzarella, shredded Parmesan, a pizza sauce or a spaghetti sauce. I'm using the Bertolli tomato and basil. You're also going to need some oregano and basil, and I'm using the dried. I have a couple of cans of sliced black olives and a bag of sliced pepperonis. So that is going to be for my pizza dip. For dipping items, these are all of the items that I'm going to use. We're going to be using some veggies, and I did grab some of the little angel sweet tomatoes, some baby carrots. We have an organic cucumber, we have red pepper and green pepper, we got some pretzel dipping sticks, I picked up a couple of baguettes, some Triscuits, I got some yellow corn tortilla chips, and some white corn tortilla chips. So those are going to be the items that I'm going to be using for dipping into the dips that I have. All right, so first things first is we're gonna start making our guacamole. And I have to say, this is my daughter Alyssa's recipe. She is our guacamole maker in our house, and it is probably my favorite guacamole I've ever had anywhere. Even like out of all of like the Mexican restaurants that we go to, I love this guacamole. So first we're gonna use some of these whole cashews. I am using the Pampered Chef. It's like a Pampered Chef food processor. It's the manual one that has the little pump on the top. So that's what I'm going to use to make our guacamole tonight. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take these cashews and I'm going to use about half a bag of them. And these are whole cashews. You can buy the ones that are already in pieces, halves and pieces if you want. These happen to be on sale in my grocery store. I'm just going to chop these up lightly. Okay. So now I'm going to take these out for now. And then I'm going to put my blade back in. You don't have to wash it out. You can keep it, because you're just going to add this back in eventually. I'm going to take the flesh out of 4 avocados, and I'm going to put it right in the little food processor. Now it's best if you use avocados that are ripe. It's harder if you use avocados that are not ripe. And when I do my avocados, I actually just like to put a couple slices in the avocado, the lengthwise and widthwise. And then I'll take a spoon and I'll just scoop it out. So a little trick with getting the pit out of the avocado is to take a knife and kind of just tap the knife in the stone and twist until the stone comes out, just like that. And then I just dump the seed in my trash. Again, I'm just going to slice this one quickly and use my spoon to scoop out the rest of the avocado. All of my avocados chopped up in my food processor, just like that. We like it a little bit chunkier, so I left a little bit of the chunk, and I have the rest of it here in a bowl along with the chopped up cashews. Because I'm making so much of the guacamole, I'm actually going to use my KitchenAid mixer. Once I have all my avocado chopped up from the food processor, I'm going to dump that along with all of the nuts right into my KitchenAid mixer bowl, and I'm going to use the paddle. And now I'm going to start adding the salsa and olive oil. This is the salsa I'm going to use. It's just a fresh, mild salsa. So I'm just going to take some of this salsa. I'm not going to put the whole thing in. I'm only going to put maybe close to half, only because I've used about 4 avocados. So yeah, I'll use about half of the salsa. And I will turn it on and kind of let it mix it all up together. And then I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil. I'm also going to add some fresh ground peppercorns and some salt. And how I do these is I keep the cap on and I grind some right in the cap. And then I take the cap off and we have some fresh ground peppercorn right in the cap. And I'm just gonna put that right in. And I'm gonna do the same thing with the salt. Just grind it right in the cap. And then add that right to the guacamole as well. Okay, so here is the guacamole. I'm actually gonna put it back into the mixing bowl that I had it in before, but before I do, I'm just gonna take a chip and test it and see how it tastes. Just to make sure it doesn't need any more salt or anything like that. It's good. Okay, because we're not serving this right away, I'm gonna put this in my refrigerator and make the other dips before we assemble the stadium. A little trick with guacamole is make sure when you put your saran wrap or your plastic wrap on top of your container that you push all of the air out and you push it right down to the top of the guacamole. That will keep it from browning. All right, so we are now gonna start making the spinach and artichoke dip, which I have prepped right here on my counter. We're gonna use this loaf baker, and I'm gonna preheat my oven to 375. All right, so for the actual spinach and artichoke dip, we have in this bowl right here, I have about half of a cup of the Parmesan cheese, and I have about 1.5 cups of the cheddar jack cheese. And I'm going to take my can and I'm going to put it in my little Pampered Chef food processor again, and I'm just gonna give this a quick chop, just so that it breaks up the big chunks. All right, so let's dump these artichoke hearts right in with the cheese. If you have frozen spinach, let it thaw out ahead of time or defrost it in your microwave. That way it's not frozen, because you don't want it frozen when you add it to your cheese and artichoke mixture. I'm gonna stir it up just a little bit. We're gonna be adding this to a cream cheese mixture in just a minute, so I don't have to stir it too much, but just to incorporate it enough. So for the cream cheese mixture that we're gonna add to the spinach and artichoke dip, we're just gonna use 8 ounces of cream cheese. Also going to use a half of a 16-ounce jar of sour cream. We're going to just put half of a jar of the sour cream, and then we're going to do about 1/3 of a cup of mayonnaise. I'm not measuring it, I'm just guesstimating about 1/3 of a cup. Also going to add some fresh garlic. So I have this really neat little garlic press. I'm actually going to just take 1 clove, and you can take it with the, you don't have to peel it at all. You can take it right with the peel on and put it in your little garlic press like this, and you can just press it right into your cream cheese mixture. And we're gonna just put our paddle on and mix this right up. All right, so it's all mixed together. I'm gonna take it from the bowl, I'm gonna put it in my loaf pan, and I'm gonna put it in the oven and cook it for about 30 minutes. All right, last dip is gonna be the pizza dip. Again, we're gonna use 8 ounces of cream cheese, so I'm going to use my KitchenAid mixer. All right, so I'm putting the cream cheese in first. 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese. 1/4 cup of the mild cheddar. Now I'm gonna again put my paddle on. I'm gonna mix this up, and to that I'm gonna add about a teaspoon of oregano, a teaspoon of basil, and then I'm also going to add a little bit of salt and pepper. Okay, so I have my base to my pizza dip right here. That one I'm going to start to assemble first. And here is one of my trays. I've actually already made this little pocket with some aluminum foil. I'm going to make another pocket on the other side. These are going to be like the end zones. And how I did that was I just took a small piece of aluminum foil, and I'm going to fold this in half. And then I'm going to basically just stick it in my tray here. And I'm going to make like a little pocket. And this is going to be what's going to separate the dips. All right, so we're going to start assembling the pizza dip in this side right here. Dump this right into this pocket as best as I can. I'm just going to take a knife and I'm going to just spread this mixture all across the bottom of my little pocket. I'm just going to try to make it as even as possible. Okay, so I have the first layer done. I'm going to put my second layer, which is going to be sauce, and I'm just going to pour the sauce in. You don't need a whole lot. It's just to cover that top layer, and I'm just going to spread that sauce out over that first layer of cream cheese. Now I'm going to take my mozzarella Okay. Okay, so once the pepperonis are on, I'm just gonna stick this in the oven for about 10 minutes just to melt the cheese. Alright, so I just pulled my pizza dip out of the oven, and the spinach artichoke dip is out as well, and I'm gonna start scooping this into this little pocket right here, and then I'm gonna let it cool for a little bit because then I'll put the guacamole in the center right here. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna make these little end zones. So how I'm gonna do that is I'm gonna make them with tin foil, and I'm taking a piece, I don't know, maybe 8 or 9 inches long, and I'm gonna fold it in half, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna kind of roll it or make these small little folds all the way to the end of the tin foil. All right, so now I have this like long piece of tin foil right here, and I'm gonna fold that in half again one more time. This makes it a little bit more sturdy. And then this is gonna be the end zone. So I'm gonna just do a 90-degree angle on one side and a 90-degree angle on the other side. So this is our little end zone, and now I'm gonna put a little foot at the bottom that's gonna stick in the dip. And again, we're gonna do a little bit smaller of a piece than the last time. Okay, so now I'm gonna make a post that's gonna go into the dip to hold this up. So again, I took a smaller piece, maybe about 5 inches wide, and I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna just roll it from the bottom, make little folds all the way up. Okay, and once you get to the top here, again, I'm gonna fold it over one more time. Makes it a little bit thinner and a little bit sturdier. Okay, so now I have this post. All right, so I'm just gonna wrap that bottom piece. I'm just gonna wrap it around a couple of times just so that it holds that post into place. Like that. So now we have a cute little field goal or end zone, whatever it's called. All right, now this is gonna stick into our dip. I already have one on one side. I'm gonna stick one in on the other side right at the end. So here's the arrangement. I put the guacamole in the center here. So here's our field with our 2 end zones. And Sean was good. He cut up some veggies for us, and we laid 3 of the loaf pans on either side of the field. And then we have 2 on each end zone. And we're gonna fill up the rest of these with chips and crackers and pretzels and dipping things. All right, friends, so here it is. I finished adding all of my dipping sides, and I put crackers all around the inner portion of the tray. Just so you know what I put where, I did cherry tomatoes and then a white corn chip and carrots. I did sliced cucumbers with pretzel sticks. I did a green pepper, that's a French baguette, and a red pepper, some Triscuits, and some yellow corn tortilla chips. Then I just did the crackers all around the outer portion of the field. Then on the field, I just took some olives and stuck some on either side of the end zones, and then I put a few olives in the center as like players. So all in all, I think it turned out really cute. I can't wait to dig in, and I'm really hoping that my guests enjoy it for the Super Bowl. I hope you guys enjoyed this DIY as well. And if you did, give me a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and stick around for more DIYs and videos to come. Hope you guys have a great Super Bowl. How is it?
Good. Good.